Hi guys, long time since I've done this, but today's kind of important and I wanted to bring you guys along to something a bit different and a bit embarrassing and a bit awkward, but we're going to get through it together, okay? Yeah. So, I'm going for my first smear today because I went through 6 months of sexual abuse and was raped on one occasion during that. By the same person. I haven't been able to have my first smear yet. In the UK, because I know a lot of my readers on my blog come from America, but in the UK, everywhere the first smear is at 20 years old. In England, it's 25, and I'm 30. So I've almost missed like 2 smears because you have them every 3 years. I ended up in A&E quite a few months ago now and had ruptured a cyst on my ovaries, and while I was there I saw gynecology and they said, had I had a smear? No, they said they wanted to do an internal examination, and I said I'm not comfortable doing that. And she said, well, it's just like when you have your smear. And I was like, I've never had one. And she asked why, and I told her, and she said that they actually offer a service in my area, the NHS, where they can use sedation to give somebody a smear who's sort of gone through a trauma or has a reason basically that's kind of what they'll need to get their smear done. So that was how I kind of got my referral. I spoke to my GP and I said, you've just got to refer me to gynecology at this hospital. And she did it. And it was like a month or 2 later I got my appointment. So the gynecologist, I think it's gynae surgery technically, but I saw her and she was really nice. She asked for like a brief sort of history of why I couldn't have it, and said, you know, I didn't have to go into details or anything. It was just literally what I've just said to you guys now. This service that they do, I don't know if it's just my area, which is the northeast of England. I'm really sorry if it is just this area and some people have sort of seen this and thought, oh, there's hope, I might be able to have one. But yeah, so I'm sorry if your area doesn't do this, but I'd like to think that it does because it's under the NHS, so why would the NHS in other areas not offer the same service? But we all know from mental health services that it's a bit of a postcode lottery sometimes. So yeah, I'm going for my smear. They give me 2 options of sedation. One of them, she said that I'd kind of be awake, but I wouldn't really know what was going on. And I didn't like the sound of that, so I'm just going for the full general anaesthetic. She said that when she saw me, she didn't know if it would mean I'd need to be like on a ventilator and have a tube down my throat and stuff, because it's obviously a very quick procedure, so there might not be any need for that. So I don't really know how it works and what exactly they're going to do. I just know it's an anaesthetic and I won't have a clue until afterwards. So I don't know, I'm kind of like, I was saying that I felt like I thought it's a really good thing to not be aware of everything that's gone on and that I would wake up and it would be over. But the last few days in the run up to this, I've started to develop the thought that maybe that's not a good idea. And am I going to be, when I wake up, am I going to be thinking, oh God, what if something was different? Like, what if it wasn't what I thought it was going to be? Or what if something had happened and I hadn't known? And how would that make me feel? And especially because during the abuse, I kind of dissociated quite a lot from it. As like obviously a coping strategy, I guess, my brain. So a lot of that I've got different memories of and sort of remembering it as if I was like in the ceiling watching it happening to some poor girl that I couldn't help kind of thing. So I don't know if it's going to be a good idea that I don't know what's going on. But I'm not backing out of it. And I was talking to one of my best friends last night and I said that my abuser has had years of being able to end my life and being able to affect my medical health, kind of my physical health. He's had a lot of control over that, and I know I would take responsibility, but obviously my actions have come as a response from what he's kind of done, pretty much. So I'm not going to let him have that power anymore. I'm going to take back my body, and I'm not going to let him do any, have any influence that would jeopardize my health. So I'm just waiting for my patient transport ambulance thing. I've got my bag packed. Ta-da! Because having a general anaesthetic and living alone means that, and that I have seizures means that I have to stay in overnight. So I've got an overnight bag. I'm going to take my iPad and everything, and my little keyboard, so that I can blog and stuff while I'm in. Keep busy and distracted. I'm not allowed to eat or drink anymore now. I think I can have water with medication, but that's it. So I'm very thirsty and my mouth's getting dry because I've talked for apparently 6 minutes and 20 odd seconds. So I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna take you guys along, and even to the point of, I mean, hopefully I'm gonna try and show you like the inside of the patient transport ambulance and everything as well, just so people have a full insight into this, and hopefully it'll help other women to go for it and to have their smears. And you know, it's an important procedure in a woman's life, and it can affect a woman's life, you know, it could change your life. So it's important, and I think it's equally important that there's no shaming of the women who can't or feel like they can't have smears, because you don't know what's going on in someone else's life. You can't sort of judge everybody and say, like this tweet that I saw or a post on Facebook saying women who don't have their smears are just asking for cancer. And I just thought, you know, it got quite a lot of angry responses, which was reassuring to know that I wasn't alone in hating that comment. But yeah, I just hope my experience can help people to realise that, you know, there's a background to a woman's decision around smears. There's reasons for it. That's not true in every case, but it's true in my case. So I hope I can help some people in some way by bringing you along, and look forward to seeing me after an anaesthetic. It's very fancy in here. Hi guys, I'm in the hospital now. I saw the anaesthetist who asked a ton of questions about my medication and allergies, and explained how they're going to do the anaesthetic. I think it's going to be something that puts me to sleep, a really deep sleep, he said. And they're going to put this thing around my head that tells them like how deeply asleep I am. And then I saw the gynecologist, and she's she said they're going to do another procedure because of my history of cysts on my ovaries, and she thinks that while I'm asleep I might as well just do everything so that I don't have to go through this again. So that's really good thinking. So I'm gonna have that as well as the smear. So I'm just waiting to go down to theatre. I'm third on the list, so I'll be seen this morning, and I will see you guys soon. Hi guys, I'm all done, procedure's finished, and I'm back on the ward. They struggled to find a vein to put a tube in to give me the anaesthetic, so that used a gas to put me to sleep, and then got a vein while I was out, which is in my foot. Yeah, so it's all done. Quite a bit of pain, not gonna lie, because you know, I don't want people to think I've sugarcoated stuff and that I haven't told the truth. So I've had quite a bit of pain, and they've given me something for it and it's working. I know I was quite sick from the anaesthetic, but again, give me something and it worked. Some bleeding, which is I kind of knew would happen, but doesn't make it any easier, I guess, because you know, it's kind of when the rape happened, I bled afterwards. So this is kind of like a reminder sort of thing, but I still feel like I'm going to be safe. Just upset, I guess, and challenged. So yeah, I'm back on the ward. I've had some fish and chips for lunch and gonna go blog and watch some Netflix or something, and then I'm in overnight because of the anaesthetic and because I live by myself. So I'll either stop vlogging here, or I might speak to you a bit later to check in and see how I'm doing. Okay, bye.
Oh, lovely.
It's funny, my friend was just saying you might get some your way, and it's gone. Look at it.
Oh.
I can see the light up there, let me see.
Can you see?
Hi guys, so as you can see, I'm home. The cat's coming to sniff the camera. Please leave it alone, Emmy. That was a little ear there. The last couple of clips were there's been a massive storm in the UK, because I think Ireland and stuff were affected as well. And there was a little video caption of the snow that sort of came first, and we were watching it out the hospital window, and then the other little video was the sound of the wind against the windows in the hospital. It was really scary. Some of the oh, here comes the cat again. See how whiskers? Some of the tiles in the ceiling were like lifting up with the wind, and then the sister had this thermometer and she said that our bay of beds was like too cold. So we all had to be moved in the middle of the night to a different bay that was warmer. And none of us had noticed how cold it was because we'd sort of gotten used to it. And I had like 4 blankets. So I'd felt the cold, but once I had the blankets, I wasn't bothered. And until we got moved and we were like, oh, actually, it was freezing out there. So I had a bit of an eventful night with being sick quite a lot. Hurt my wrist. I've had a seizure, which, you know, it's under investigations and stuff. Like, it's not a new thing. But I fractured my scaphoid bone, which is like the bottom of your thumb. So I have to wear this for like 6 weeks. And this is only I could go into hospital for smear and come out with a broken thumb. Like, who else does that? But otherwise, yeah, it was all right through the night and this morning, and the bleeding has stopped, which is really nice, because that was one of the triggers that I was worried about, like causing memories and stuff back from the rape. So I'm glad that that stopped. That's been helpful. And I'm so glad to be home and be back with my pets, and missed them so much. I was showing their photos to like everybody on the ward, the staff and the patients. So I've missed them a lot and glad to be home. So this will be the end of the little vlog. Actually, I'm going to put a clip after this of my little time lapse of my journey home in the patient transport service. And this will go at the end of the blog, which will give more details about the procedures and the processes of the referrals and everything. And I just really hope it helps somebody to, not pass judgment over a woman who is struggling to have a smear. And I hope that it gives hope to people who are struggling to have a smear, to think that you can get through it, kind of thing, and that I've managed it, and that there is ways that you can go about it. And I just hope that this kind of service is around the rest of England for the NHS, because it's been really helpful for me, and I'm so grateful to the staff on Ward 7 at Rake Lane Hospital in North Shields, I want to say. I feel like it's not North Shields, though. That way, anyway, in the UK. All the staff were absolutely lovely and brilliant, and from domestic staff to nurses to healthcare to the surgeons, everybody was so lovely. So I spoke to one of the sisters at the end of, like, before I got picked up, and I just said how fantastic everyone had been, and that I would give them a shout out in the blog post. So here's a shout out in this, and then I'll also do a little bit in the blog post about how important it's been to have staff like that for what I've had to do. So I really hope this has been helpful, like I said, to different people for different reasons, and here's to going through it all over again in 3 years' time. But I've done it once, so I can do it again.